Guitar players are always looking for that tone. Some players have an entire shoebox full of old pedals that they bought over the years. They're still not happy. They're still searching for that magic, fat, Marshall-y tube type tone that they can't seem to find. Good tone is something you know it when you hear it. It's hard to describe to somebody else, but your ear will tell you when you hear a good tone. The pedals I design and build are basically small tube amps put into a very small housing. They're completely hand-wired using all analog components. You'll never find an integrated circuit chip in these or a transistor or any kind of printed circuit board. These are made by hand by a real person. They're built just like the vintage 50s amps with all components wired point to point. If you want the best tone, the best durability, serviceability, and the ability to easily modify it, then it's got to be hand wired. I don't think there's anyone else out there making a pedal like this by hand. There are some other tube pedals, but they cost over $500. These are half the price. For a living, I work on repairing vintage hand-wired tube amps. I've been doing it for at least the last 15 years. Before that, I was an electrical engineer for over 25 years. But I'm also a performing musician, so I know both worlds. That's a big reason people keep coming back to me with their amps. They can talk to me as a musician, and I can translate that into tech. I've played on stage for many years in a lot of bands, so I know what you're talking about when you're talking about music. Our pedals use a standard JJ 12AX7 tube that you can buy anywhere, and I put it on the outside of the enclosure so you can change it yourself. If you've got a box of these or vintage, new, old stock, whatever, you can try them all out. You may find that one magic tone that really works with your guitar. Vintage amps were flexible. You could change tubes and speakers and make them sound different. You didn't have to go out and buy a whole new expensive amp. You could just put different tubes into your amp. That's something we kind of lost along the way. With these pedals, you get that controlled back. They can be adjusted and customized to your tonal taste, which really sets them apart from other pedals out there. The 12AX7 tube is the happiest when it's running at 100 volts or more. To get there, you need about a 150 volt power supply, which I built inside the pedal. So you've got a pedal that's running at real tube voltages and sounds more like an amp than a pedal because it basically is a small amp. Add in all the other adjustment parameters and you've got a much wider range of tones right at your fingertips. Our smooth trim pedal is a dedicated tremolo effect that does one thing and does it really well. Guitar players who've been around the block eventually find they need a dedicated tremolo on their pedal board. Not one that's too choppy, but one with a smooth wave that can be dialed into your liking. For this circuit, I borrowed a lot of the analog circuitry from the vintage Gretsch amps, which were known for their beautiful tremolo sound. I modified it, condensed it down, and got it to fit inside of a pedal. These heavy-duty, powder-coated pedals are built to take a beating. They're made right here in the USA using the best quality components. A lot of pedals give out after a year because of cheap jacks that start cutting in and out. This won't happen with ours. The big knobs are easy to see on stage, so you can always see where your levels are. We use ceramic tube sockets instead of plastic, heavy-duty metal switches for added durability. These pedals will still work after 10 years of use and abuse. Sometimes when my customers come in to pick up an amp, I'll have them play through one of my pedals, and they'll say, wow, that's the tone I've been looking for all this time. And they will buy the pedal right there on the spot. So give us a call, Try one of our pedals. You may find exactly what you're looking for.